The 763rd Better Litany, Chapter the 5th, Bloodsport, continued. In the wake of the defeat of Margrave Regis at the Mandibles of the Superiority, the Archduchess-in-Waiting Renatia Kostovich was visibly unimpressed. Dr. Gawain Kiranthal was preoccupied with other matters, and Marquis Bahamut did an admirable job in obfuscating their true feelings until they excused themselves from the box to visit their brother in the bloodworks beneath the stadium. Much can be speculated upon what may have caused the state of the Lance Constable Tacticus. A toxin from the Saurian wasp he had recently faced? Perhaps some variety of external poison? Some even speculate divine intervention, mediated by the Sangarkic seal placed upon the superiority. But when he returned to the field of combat not long after, the crowd was shocked by the starved and crazed state of him. But I get ever so slightly ahead of myself, as between Marquis Bahamut's visit to the Bloodworks and their announcement of the next bout, there was some motion within the prime boxes of the High House Imperialis. The Lord High Adjudicator of the Ordo Principium was seen to enter the box of the Grand Duke Maximus Rex, while his disfavored daughter joined the company in the box of the Master of Ceremonies. It ought surprise no one that Inquisitor Aspitus had been seen at the mustering grounds on a tournament day. In fact, it would have been far more remarkable had she been absent, a fact which we may have cause to merit in the future for its impact on coming events. She did, however, find her way into Bahamut's box with an article of personal interest to Dr. Kiranthal, and by grace of her recent associations with House Kostovich. From a distance, these three members of the greater houses of the Undying Empire were seen to converse with many long glances at their noble sires in attendance, and heard to mention the noble sire whose extended absence itself begins to foment rumor. With an eye to what is to come, it ought to be no wonder that there was an unusual sense of happening among the great members of our society that day. The preachings of Anatel, the voice of the Sangark, had been as seeds sown among those who would listen, an exhortation to confrontation delivered with a quiet yet shouting subtlety familiar to those accustomed to receiving their directions through dreams. I myself find that this period before the vacation and return of our personages of interest takes on something of a dreamlike quality, making that which follows after feel all the more real. But I again find myself somewhat before myself. Anatel had quit the city early that morning for parts known to very few. Inquisitor Lauralai Aspitus followed him that afternoon, after she was escorted from the box by Lord Bahamut.
I think that's the pivotal moment. Are we ready for a roll here?
So I'm spending my token. Oh, that's not too bad. That is a 7 on the dice and an 8 with embers, which is still not a 10.
When you wrap someone around your finger, spend an intimacy token. Tell history how you make them feel special. Then name a request. You can spend extra intimacy tokens to name additional requests.
I only have one to spend, and I'm spending it. And now, I understand that your time is limited, but of late I have been reflecting on the nature of power, how it is grasped and how it is used, and whom that power serves. Yes, of course, we all serve the Undying Empire, and the Emperor himself in our own ways, but along the way, one wonders if the other things which our power is spent to wield are quite worth it. There is a power that I have some measure of access to that I believe might be used for our mutual benefit. However, there are certain administrative hurdles, one might say, certain subtleties that it would be improper were it known that I were skirting. I believe you understand that power of which I speak.
I do indeed.
Okay, I don't.
A few stories. Renewal.
The thing that I have is remove the administrative hurdles from utilizing renewal from my way. I need one vampire. I need one person who has been fed on the blood of the Empire so that I can execute a renewal at my discretion. This is the task that I'm giving to Lauralai. And I believe that she can do it because she is an Inquisitor and she understands how to operate within these systems.
On a 7 to 9, you must offer some real intimacy before they will agree. Whatever that means is between you two.
Inquisitor Aspitus, Lauralai. We've stopped, we've pulled into an alcove that's out of the way, and Bahamut turns to face you. We are the kinds of people who must imply far much more than we say. When I was very young, a drake found me in the street, bit my arm, and it took of my blood. A few days later, I noticed that it had grown lethargic, pallid, and I was told by my father that the blood of the Emperor that flows through my veins had proved too much for this particular drake, which then soon died. I'd been considering what name to give it, and when Regis took on his drake, not long after, I gave the name that I decided on to him, and of course, Impetus is now fallen, the second drake of that name to do so, although under very different circumstances. I understand what it's like to have something which you love dearly taken from you by those whom ought to have your best interest, your comfort, your affirmation and realization at heart. I believe that we can redress these wrongs if you do this for me.
Wrongs can indeed be redressed through time and those with power and understanding working together for the betterment of the entire empire and everyone who lives within it.
Of course, for the Empire.
Time has come for change. And I believe the right kind of change can help reinvigorate things.
I'm glad to hear it. I shall not take any more of your time.
It has been my pleasure, Marquise.
Of course, Inquisitor. Bahamut gives a very graceful bow and takes and kisses your hand, and then turns with the cape flowing and returns to the box.
We transition to Anatel. Anatel, you are stuck on yet another locked fucking door.
Actually, I think I'm not. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go back to those two, and I'm just gonna actually escort me, and just tell them to escort me. So if they don't lead me through all the traps, they'll die. Because I'm gonna follow them.
This is a great idea. As you turn to head back towards them, you feel your perspective shift violently, and then you go into tunnel vision mode, and then, as if coming to you from an invisible horizon, Kanastia Zanakostovich appears before you, much in the same way that she appeared before Bahamut at the party.
My good lady Zankostovich.
The voice of the Sangar. You are in danger.
Oh.
The only way out is deeper in. This is a trap.
See a great many deal traps here. Do you know the way through?
Only barely.
I would much appreciate a bit of guidance.
Follow the doors with the strongest wards on them, until you reach an unwarded door. When you enter the unwarded door, seal it behind you. That will keep you safe. I am sorry, O voice, but your mission is going to fail here.
I'm certain whatever the Emperor wills to happen, will happen today.
She leans in close to your ear, which is funny because she's like remotely transmitting to you, but she leans in close to your ear and whispers, "What is happening is not the Emperor's will." And then, and she's gone. Further down the hall, you hear a familiar voice accosting the guards on the other side of the door. "Now, all right, I know for certain that you have allowed an unauthorized visitor into the barracks. You're going to have to let me through." And then you hear the guards respond, "I apologize, Administratrix 7th class. I am not befit to look upon you, except to say I am not authorized to let anyone through by orders of the Archduke of the Ordo Principium.
Oh, and that's how, even with the sense of self-preservation intact, just briefly considers just waiting to listen to hear how many repetitions it takes. But thinks better of it and continues forward.
All right. I think there's a move here. I believe this is probably... What do you want to do here? Brace for trouble, or... I wonder, I don't think there's another basic move. Do you have any roll moves that you can use to get through this a little faster? Otherwise, it sounds like a brace for trouble.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
I think the thing that makes the most sense is I take to my heels to outrun the trouble. So my question to you for the cost would be, what must I discard to speed my flight?
I mean, you kind of have to discard your ability to talk to whoever you've been asked to. I don't know if that's like a good consequence here.
I think that I'm going to be super fucking mean here. The failure of this mission is actually going to cause you to fail one of your bright futures. I'm going to let you choose which bright future and why. So your 3 bright futures were to win great glory and be given land and title of your own, to be acknowledged for all that you have sacrificed, and to be avenged for the indignities your master has heaped upon you.
So, my understanding was actually, I was going to just book it to who I needed to talk to, and try and just slip out, like just get as little time as I can, and slip out. That was my intention.
Right.
It seems like that's just not in the cards potentially, to my mind.
I'll let you do that if you take a second brace for trouble.
Yeah, of course.
I'll let you keep doubling down on brace for trouble. It might cost you more.
Yeah, I like it. That sounds great to me.
You are going to have to leave something behind, though.
Your shoe.
No, I like it. Maybe still pay the price of a bright future.
We can play this, like, I'm going to cost you at least 1 bright future. If you want to do another brace for trouble, then you also have to answer another question. But we can kind of figure out what the final cost will be after the scene plays out.
I like that. I think
Okay.
I'm going to choose to lose the bright future to be acknowledged for all that you've sacrificed, because I know, because I'm no longer like playing in the rules, even if I win, they'll never be like, wow, Anatel, you did such a good job. They'll be like, publicly, you shouldn't do that. Naughty. Right? Like, tisk, you should work within the rules. So we're not going to acknowledge you for anything you've done here.
Okay. So, how do you still get to your objective for however brief a time?
Can we say I use the connection I still have to those 2 guards to make them physically restrain the administratics and whoever's with them for as long as they physically can?
This sounds like I bar my gates to shut the trouble out. Is that accurate?
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah. What will you leave exposed and unguarded?
What will I leave exposed and unguarded?
I think I answered that.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So they're going to keep this guy at the entrance, but you are going to leave something unguarded. I actually think you get a lot of time with Deidre.
Yeah.
Because you are trapped in here. And what you leave unguarded is you now leave Gawain at the mercy of the vampire courts without a high-ranking guide, confidant, and friend to support them in the political machinations of the high courts.
You also just potentially pissed off the guy that you told you were trying to get married. That's the guy that you just went against?
Yep. Yeah. And he was going to reveal this if you had a standoff, but I'll just tell you, he specifically spotted you and followed you here because you insulted him in his own chambers.
Yeah, of course.
The little genuflect with the ring, he had it in his head. He's like, oh, I'm going to get that motherfucker back.
Of course.
Because he is petty and is in a position of no oversight.
Incredible. Yeah. Ship it. Those are the prices I pay. Sounds like.
So you finally reach the unwarded door and enter it and seal it behind you, and then a glamored door appears before you. And you hear screaming from inside.
I'll like grab like some. I'm assuming there's just like making like ice water and rags and like the things you need for when that stuff happens.
Yeah.
And we'll like rush in and just insert myself into the like work that goes into, a birth.
Delivering a vampire baby.
Yeah.
Question. Is he a vampire when he's born, or does he become a vampire when he's ascended? When does a child become a vampire? Because we've talked about when our character's ascended.
I feel like life born of death is not death, but it's not life.
Not a vampire, still not human.
You're kind of the betweener.
Yeah.
You still need to be fully ascended, but you've got like some superhuman abilities.
A natural born Dampier.
Hey Lex, what do you think? Because you've got the weird Dark Horse lore drops. What kind of a creature is a baby born of a vampire?
Well, the generally accepted thing is, well, there's one, vampires can't have kids, but, here we are.
We kind of blew that one.
Yeah, that one's whatever. 2, you might get something like a Dampier, which is like, you got some of the cool stuff, none of the bad stuff. Then there's the whole, it's just a fucked up monstrosity. I think in some cultures, that's where werewolves come from or some shit. I don't remember, dude. Either way, we can do whatever we want, honestly.
Yeah.
I
think Dampier makes sense.
I think a Dampier, but here's the really big thing. So we have established that our ascended, our high vampires, are daywalkers as well. I think the baby who is not ascended is going to have vampiric light sensitivity.
Mhm.
That's like one of the things. Like you get ascended by the blood of the Emperor, you can go out in the sun again.
That's a side thing. We did establish that a character forever ago whose title was Dampier in Waiting.
I think that Dampier is like a title within the Empire, and then for us at the table, Dampier is a like way to understand like kind of like a half vampire. So maybe there's a different word for Dampier in the Empire.
Yeah.
They just call them kids because that's how they have kids.
Yeah.
Killings.
But rolling with the
Blood
like
kids.
what I to kind of to double down on Ben's thing, if we treat vampirism in the way that we've talked about it, maybe just in a cross stitch, where it's basically like the vampirification process is more about like hollowing out your humanity and the power is filled in later. This is somebody who is born into that condition, whereas somebody who is infected later in life like receives it later on. So I'm gonna say like the reverse of the thing that you had said, which is vampire upsides but no downsides is the fun middle ground that ends up in a lot of fiction, whereas this is mostly downsides and not a lot of upsides because that's just like vampirism in a metaphysical sense for us. So that's what this kid is.
And they have centuries to raise their kids.
Mm-hmm.
Think about how long it takes for a human child to grow up compared to other animals. Vampires are 10 times that. Like it's yeah. Okay.
Awful implication that puberty lasts like a century.
Ooh.
Absolutely
Ooh.
awful.
Yeah.
Those terrible 2 decades.
No wonder Ellis is such a shit.
AKA my 20s through 40s. So, Anatel, you're operating on very little information, but the Sangark sent you here for a reason. You're going to have a little bit of time before Lauralai catches up to you. And Lauralai knows all the back entrances. So, like, Lauralai can just bypass the blockade and just go in. Right? This is not as challenging for her. What do you do with the brief amount of time while you are trapped in here with Daedra, the daughter of the Archduke of the Ordo Principium, who is having a baby?
And no one knew she was pregnant.
Yes, this is a secret pregnancy.
Absolutely. I think it is like a light switch where we've seen Anatel basically always being like the port schemer, but just like code switches right into like, oh well, I'm gonna do a blessing, and let me help with how are you feeling, my lady, and I'm gonna try and basically not so subtly, because I know her mind's not really on keeping secrets and courtly intrigue at the moment. Try and just like draw information out of her as I'm helping her, of like, as like, let me say the Emperor's blessings. Do you have anything you would like to, like release from your spirit before the child is left? And
Is this a draw someone out, or do you have a barrow?
Yeah.
no, I don't know if any of the barrow
Draw
moves
someone out.
would work, but I think, yeah, draw some out is that will be a 7 exactly.
A 7 exactly. On any hit, they reveal their true feelings or share what they know, whether they mean to realize so or not. She keeps asking for Lauralai. Have you met Lauralai? Has Anatel met Lauralai yet?
No.
You have no idea who this person is, but she keeps asking for Lauralai. And she keeps mentioning, like, you must keep the child away from my father.
Okay.
She's like asking, like, is Lauralai dead? Were you sent in lieu of Lauralai? We must protect the child from my father.
I think I will fully be like, if she hasn't made it here yet, well, we have to simply act as quickly as possible. Do you know where she was supposed to take the child?
She tells you she wasn't supposed to anyway. The Aedra mentions that, like, she was originally going to turn the child over to her father. Now, this is all between, like, a lot of screams and stuff, until she realized what he is.
Doesn't say literally go on, but
She's pretty delirious. Got to protect him. I didn't realize what he was. I didn't realize what was happening. I didn't realize how important, but can't get into the specifics. And you might not even know if she knows this.
I'm going to ask if she got suspicious when more of the administratum started showing up.
She responds incredulously with a frustrated voice. Basically, why the fuck are you talking about the administratum? Who gives a shit about them?
Incredible. A shot through the dark. You never know.
It is at this point where I'm not going to go into detail, but you get the opportunity to actually have physical contact with a part of the baby. You touch the baby and are immediately transported into a vision space. And you see the citadel spiral up into the heavens and then burn light like a pillar of fire. And that fire courses, do you remember your vision from the very beginning of the Bitter Litany? Courses through the veins of the continent, sweeping across the entire fucking. And you see, amid the fires, you see all of the seats of the great houses burn but one. And that is the seat of the High House remains intact. And you are pulled out of your vision when another glamored door swings wide open loudly, and in walks an Inquisitor. Inquisitor Lauralai, the voice of the Sangark is delivering your sister's baby.
I would like to read his face. What?
Yeah. Yeah. Me too.
Great. Yeah, that seems prudent.
So that's a 7. I can ask 3 and they can.
Yep. And he picks 1.
Yeah. What interest do you have in what's going on here? What are you attached to? Like, what's something important to you? And honestly, I think where she is right now, can I trust you to not kill this kid? Because I'm pretty, like, in her mind, her family's goal is to make this problem go away. And the voice of the Sangark is here and just, like, can I trust you? What is going on? Are you a problem or can we have a conversation? vibe check of why are you here?
You see, honestly, it's not that different from the look that Regis had in the like tent before their match against the Brazen. Like this kind of tensed up energy. It's not like I don't have like the hunger aspect of it, but there's just like this zeal and conviction. And you think that I would kill everyone in this room to keep this baby alive.
Okay. So that's not an immediate problem. She'll just be like, I wasn't aware others were called. St. Arctic and Absentius, it's good to see you, Deidre. Just like walk up, playing the part of concerned sister, goes to grab her hand, just and gives her the sharp look. You called for me?
She digs her nails into your arm, and she looks at you and says, I didn't realize what it would mean to have Regis's child. I didn't realize what this would mean for the Empire. Do you know what they're trying to do?
No. Deidre, keep it simple. What's going on?
Regis will be the new heir to the Ordo Principium and the High House Imperialis. Under his hand, he will devour the Empire. We are not just delivering the son of a warrior. We are not just delivering the child of inquisitorial blood. We are delivering the next emperor.
And what role does father play in this?
His death. When our father dies, when he dies, because there are people who have an interest in this happening when he dies. This child will take his throne.
I don't know if Laura sees a problem with that. Can I read Deidre's face?
Sure, yeah, let her rip.
That's better, that's 10.
Okay. You get how many questions? You get 2.
And you have to answer both.
Yes. What do you think of me? Are we besties now? Like, are we cool?
What depths do you conceal? What about this, like, why does this strike her as a problem? I don't know her particularly well. What has she been hiding?
She has been hiding the knowledge of a society within the Empire that would intentionally and violently consolidate the houses. Moreover, do you remember that that Administratix, the one that's currently trying to gain access to this building? Administratix Terra Sagaris? I believe you met him briefly.
I don't think she's met him.
No, you have.
Me, the person, yes. Lauralai has not.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. You might know of him. Anyway, regardless, the people that are trying to gain access to this barracks are with that group.
How far would she go to keep this from happening? Or to make it happen?
She would, without a second thought, get the baby as far away from Imperial territory as one possibly could. She does not want the consolidation of the houses.
I think the fact that this scares her, and I'm getting the vibe that our father wants this to happen. I think she's just gonna like, calm down, sister. Don't stress yourself over much. We need to make sure that the baby is safe and healthy. And just kind of like giving her a look of, I have a way to make this kid disappear. I don't know if I can get both of them.
Anatole, you hear Lauralai try to calm Deidre down. How do you respond?
I'm not privy to all the information that Move just got, but from what I'm here to, I could hear her saying out loud, I think right now I'm good with what is happening. So I will continue caring for the child and let it play.
And with that, we will transition back to the games.
I'm so stressed out.
I think that it is plainly obvious that there is no way that a Brazen, no matter how skilled, wins against an enraged starving vampire, especially one as storied. Like, this is not possible.
This is Regis Imperialis we are talking about.
Yeah.
Nah, I'd win.
I am.
It was rigged.
The Brazen's like, yeah, whatever. I'm built different.
She's a warrior. She's gonna fight to the death no matter what.
True. No, she absolutely will.
Mm-hmm. I hope she's got somebody to inherit that. We only have so many Brazen left.
So I would like you to choose a move on behalf of Regis, Bahamut. Would you like to use this battle as a way to do a move? You could do put them in their place. You could do make a plea. You could do deliver a command, draw someone out. Like, this is going to be a metaphor for an interaction that you two are going to have, and it's going to be initiated by a move. I'm really playing very interpretive with this, but I also think it's a compelling vehicle to send a message. What message would you like to send to Renatia Sanacosta?
You as Regis.
By way of your instrument, Regis.
The core of it is, I admire what you did. You simply did not go far enough, is what this is going to come down to. Bahamut does not particularly like Renatia, which is not even true. I think that they think that she is fun and kind of cool and out here doing their best thing, living their best life. And Bahamut is exceptionally envious of her ability to have gotten into the position that she is, and there's the internal tension of, I don't think you deserve it. I think the fact that your house was there to begin with is some sort of historic accident. But also, sorry, I'm trying to find the right way to get here.
Are you breaking up with me?
Is this a put someone in their place, or is this a, what are you thinking here? Or something kind of different from that, or?
I think when the fight starts, the Glaive Chief manages to hold Regis back for a little while. There's struggle. I'm kind of between make a plea and deliver a command. Fundamentally, I want your spot, but I also want your friendship. I want to do the job that you're not fucking doing, and I can do the job that you're not doing. Emily, do you want to, so this is going to be strike a bargain.
Strike a bargain by way
Maybe.
of combat?
Bargain.
God, maybe.
So when you say you want Renatia's spot, what do you mean? Like, because Renatia is an archduke.
She's the prince. Fictionally, she is in the position of, and granted, yeah, she's taking up her. I don't give a shit about her. Yeah.
Got it. You want sort of the narrative impetus. You want to be the hand that thrusts the spear forward.
Exactly, because I think I can do a better job than she can. And I don't want to make an enemy of her in the process, because I don't think she wants to be doing what she's doing. And the end image that I want to push towards is, it's a decent enough fight, but at the end of the day, Imperialis, like Regis specifically, is an overwhelmingly good match for this brazen chump. Who's not a chump. Like, they're great, but...
You know what I think this is? Here's my deal. I think this might be a draw someone out.
Okay.
What's your play in all this? Because I feel like I would be doing this, I would be doing this, I would be doing this, but like, what are you trying to do? I don't know. Like, do you kind of follow what I'm saying here? What are you trying to achieve, or what's your angle?
I think the first thing Bahamut does after announcing the fight is they turn to Gawain and say, Dr. Kirenthal, I believe you've put in enough of an appearance to be seen among the highest of society, and I suspect that you would much rather be getting back to your work.
Is this a polite way to tell me to fuck off? Is that what's happening right now?
This is not a polite way to tell you to fuck off. Well, kind of. Did the offer come in while we were down there that we could get you a new Drake?
Yes, the offer has arrived.
Bahamut says, my brother and I are interested in accepting your offer, and perhaps more. And I cannot imagine that somebody of your temperament is necessarily having a good time away from the things that I believe bring you joy.
Leave and I'll buy your Drake. Is that what's like? I'm trying to figure out what I'm like if you're making a move, like rolling something.
Immediately, I am trying to get you out of the box. I'm giving you an excuse to leave the box so that I can speak to Renatia privately. But also, I am acknowledging that I am an admirer of your skill in your work and that I want to discuss the matter of getting a new Drake.
Marquis, normally I would take such an offer. Because you're right, this is not quite my scene. But I am under direct orders, and on top of that, I am suddenly quite more interested in that.
Well, I guess that's what put someone in their place is for. Dr. Kieranthal, I understand that you are a member of the aristocracy, and therefore I must treat you as such and cannot have you bodily thrown from the booth. Although I think that perhaps you would make a very lovely splatter when you hit the ground. I do not wish to make an enemy of you. The social niceties have, once again, been covered. These are perhaps of interest, and I understand that you are, to some extent, in league with the various other people who have come to visit my box, but at the end of the day, it remains my box. Remember once again to whom you speak. I'm a member of the High House Imperialis, and you are the very charmingly quaint Dr. Kieranthal. That barely clears 7.
That was gonna be so funny if you failed that roll.
That would have been a great speech for it to fail.
And that is why I don't like failing.
That's why I like to roll before I speak.
Also fair.
So 7 and 9, choose one. They must return to their rightful duties.
Else the prince will hear of this.
Oh, the prince heard of it.
Uh-huh.
I mean, she's right here. If we want to see what delivering judgment looks like, come at me.
Speech like that, I might just have to.
Uh-huh. Marquis, remember to whom I speak. I am quite certain that before this day and after this day, I will not remember who you are. You are a member of House whatever, like everyone else who's a member of House whatever. You are not a fox among hens, you are but a cog in a machine, and I simply do not care. Now I have a match to watch. And if you'd like to, no longer at a discount, you receive a new Drake, my business is always open.
Well, Prince, what do you feel about that?
I'm in it for the drama. Points get mad.
This is definitely an else the prince will hear of this.
Well, the drama is here, baby. Marquis Bahamut, you are clearly under immense stress at the moment and seem to have something to say, though perhaps taking that something to say out on Dr. Kieranthal is a bit untoward at the moment. After all, he is a guest, and where he is invited to be, as are you to some extent. This may be your box by virtue of your station as the Master of Commands for the games. But this is an Archduke's box. And the way I see it, I am the only Archduke here. If Gawain wishes to remain present, they are under no duress to leave. Is that understood?
I think that's to put someone in their place.
If I may,
Yep.
there's a past judgment.
There is past
There is a
judgment.
past judgment.
And that sounds literally like exactly. Because that's also the consequence for ignoring put someone in their place.
Mhm.
Is
True.
the prince can pass judgment.
And I do have 2 privilege tokens I can spend at my discretion.
Do you want to pass judgment, or do you want to do the rather more mellow? Actually, I think you might I think pass judgment might be a forced move here if it's as a result of a refuse to put them in their place.
We're in public. We're at just a standard event. We don't want to make too much of a scene, so I want to save pass judgment to see if I can't just put someone in their place. Okay, it looks like that one does not have anything added to it, so it's just a roll.
I think that you might actually have to pass judgment here.
Okay.
We can lessen some of these sentences because they are intense.
Oh, yeah, no. Confined to dungeon for this? Absolutely. I could give you a tattoo.
These are a bit much.
Yeah, for this particular one. This is past mild judgment, past social judgment.
Pass judgment, comma, lesser.
Here's the question. I succeeded on the roll. Gawain is the one who refused. Is it forced for judgment to be passed on Bahamut? Because clearly Renatia is declining to pass any sort of harsh judgment on Gawain, who is in breach of protocol.
In punishment for Bahamut's current lack of decorum.
Let us read from the text. When you pass judgment, spend a privilege token. Next, name the accused and tell history if you declare them innocent or guilty. Then roll. On a hit, your word is law. Choose one sentence from below to impose either on the accused or their accuser. On anything less than a 10, someone is going to be mad about this, by the way, Renatia. Someone more powerful than you.
Uh-huh. Bahamut is somewhat favored at the moment, as is his house. I'm basically claiming ownership of this box for myself. You look good. Sorry, I was talking to my dice.
Mhm.
Yes.
But you, listener.
That comment
also.
was 2 dice. Listener, you do look wonderful.
Yes, listener, you look wonderful. You always do.
Did you get a haircut, listener?
No, I didn't get a haircut.
Okay, so passing judgment against Bahamut for breach of decorum and just being plain rude to a guest. My guest in my box.
Whether that is correct or not, that is how...
It's true now.
that
The
is
dice
how-
will let me know. 7.
Ah!
Oh. Lesser sentence, lesser pissed off. Maybe. We'll find
Maybe.
Sure.
Here's what I'm thinking. We can pick one of them, and then we will reduce...
Bring it down.
The
Dial it way
intensity
back.
of it. Yeah.
out. Oh yeah, those are quite something.
Those are fucked up.
Okay.
These sentences are what we're threatening each other with when we're putting each other in our place. Like the idea, like, do this or the prince will fucking chain you in the harbor to face the tide.
Yeah.
Within reason. Like there's still plenty of rungs above me.
Not chain you in the harbor to face the tide, but maybe make you do some sort of grueling community service thing that you don't want to do.
You're gonna go down and serve the thralls at the soup kitchen.
I meant in general. The harshness of the judgments is, I guess, what is supposed to motivate people to follow along when they're put in their place.
Yes.
Yeah, Gawain.
Like there
This is what's supposed to motivate you to do what you're told when you're put in your fucking
Bahamut.
place. I didn't fail any fucking rolls.
No, you're
No,
right.
but I am superseding you because you pissed me off.
Yes, I understand. This is why I'm an anti-monarchist to the fucking core. This is a bad system.
You very clearly want us to be alone in this box, and quite frankly, I don't want to.
Okay, that's fine.
So, I choose. They are well, I mean, I would have been fine with, but Gawain made good points. I was like, yeah, you were mean about it, and Gawain came back with logic, and I'm like, okay.
I mean, my logic is, I don't know who you are, dude.
You're not getting me to a secondary location.
Okay.
I've chosen
What have you...
confined to their chambers. So basically, turning it around, kicking Bahamut out of the box, so that you can go cool down and find your demeanor.
So throughout this, there's been the sound of the glaive chief Denhill's glaive coming off of Regis's rapier. The combat has been going on. It's been fierce. The crowd in the background is hot. That's been the underscore to all of this. What do you say to Bahamut in order to deliver that judgment?
First, I've been seated very relaxed, enjoying my wine the entire time. Not necessarily that I don't want to be there, but this is just another day, another duty I may enjoy myself. So instantly, when you start essentially yelling down at Gawain, my guest, that it has been made apparent I am in some way acquainted with, I simply place my wine glass back on the table, very notedly, stand up between the two of you. I think that's quite enough. Marquis Bahamut, you seem to have some stress on your mind, perhaps due to your brother's condition. I think it might be wise of you to take some air somewhere else.
Lord Zenikostovich. I forgot your actual title. I can't remember anyone's fucking titles here.
It fits with you. It's fine.
Sure.
Bruh.
Bruh. Buddy
My dog.
Zenikostovich.
Dude, buddy, my guy.
Lord Zenikostovich, I appreciate that you coming to my honor, but I think I will take my leave. Besides, it seems the match is already ending. I think, as I say that, whoever the winner is being declared at the moment. Yeah, I know.
We know.
We know. Regis is mid-devouring the brazen.
No bets were really placed
Yeah.
that made any money for anyone.
Yeah, so you see, we get Regis is absolutely just, face buried into this person's neck. The crowd is roaring. It seems the match has ended.
Now, Marquis, I will be taking my leave, but I invite you to remember, I'm not your puppet, and I do not dance. There are no strings.
Except there are. You've got multiple hands that produce spider silk.
Yeah. I'm gonna walk out. And Ben, I think I'm gonna have my little chimeras that are out there start just try and surreptitiously get some brazen bits. They're for sure around.
Get some parts and baubles.
Maybe.
We'll hit that in a second. I kind of want to put I have an idea for a button on this scene. Renatia and Bahamut are now alone in the box after a really intense political standoff. Who blinks first?
Listeners, I think we're waiting to see in real life who blinks first.
I think there might be.
The unfortunate thing is I have the thing, but I don't want to give in. But simply, Marquis, I do believe that's your cue to return to your duties as Master of Ceremonies for the evening.
Of course. My condolences on the loss of your retainer. I understand that brazen are becoming increasingly difficult to come by these days. I hope that you can find a replacement.
Oh, the Empire always finds a way. Certainly for replacements.
It certainly does. And Bahamut turns. The cloak, as it flares out, actually brushes you this time, as Bahamut walks up to the spot that projects out in the box, looking out over the field, over the roar of the crowd, shouts out, Imperialis Uberalis!
Imperialis Imperialis! Imperialis Imperialis! Imperialis!
I'm not saying that. It's got
Yeah!
Renatia, do you take your leave?
My match is over. My man has fallen. There's simply nothing to keep me in this box anymore.
Okay.
You do notice, though, whether now or later, there is a nick in your cloak.
You return to your box, Bahamut, and the familiar shadow sitting in Renatia's chair of your father. He is holding Renatia's wine glass and inspecting it with a deep and frustrating glower. Bahamut,
Sir.
today would have been your darkest hour, had other things not come to pass. Let not Renatia's insults sway you. Let not your brother's condition concern you. He sort of takes the glass and holds it sideways while he looks at like the last couple of drops of wine that are left. And then he flings it all the way into the middle of the Colosseum where it shatters at someone's feet. Something has come to pass that is going to lay all of these concerns to you. I think that it's time to let you in on some information I've been keeping from you.
You have been listening to Game Movement, a creative storytelling collective building a world one game at a time. This week we have been playing The Bitter Litany, a Powered by the Apocalypse game of tragic fantasy intrigue by Luke Jordan, which is still in development as we play it, but keep an eye out for it soon. This week our players are the core cast of myself, Brianna Jean, TT Benjamin, Robbie Rowling, Zach Yolen Green, Emily Anderson, and Lex Olden. If you like what we're doing, feel free to leave us a review on your favorite podcasting app, and you can support us over on Patreon at patreon.com/GameMoven, as well as supporting the network we are a part of, which is the One Shot Podcast Network, where we have just some truly amazing shows that we get to be affiliated with. And if you're looking for something new to listen to, go check them out.